my desk.
Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order on Monday, June 22nd at 7 p.m. I'll ask all those that have not signed in to please do so. Please turn off all your cell phones and other electronic devices and conduct any private conversations in the hallway or outside. This meeting room is equipped with an inductive loop hearing assistance system. You'll be able to hear conversations through the microphones on hearing aids with a T-switch. Emergency exits can be found to your right or left. And please note that the meeting is also live streamed via YouTube with text commenting available. I'd ask everyone to please join us now in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would ask Shay to do a roll call vote for us, and that Supervisor Marin is necessarily absent tonight.
Dave Condon.
Here?
Drew Kuzamano.
Here.
Jen Tipton.
Present.
Alexis Ogra. Here.
Okay, I'm looking for approval of our June 8th pay bills minutes, meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And now we have payment of bills, manifest number 12, and I'd ask Shay to introduce that for us, please.
The Victor Town Board has reviewed manifest number 12 in the amount of $192,881.79 with the following accounts charged: General Townwide, General Outside Village, Highway Townwide, Victor Fire Protection, S&S Consolidated Sewer Fund, Trust and Agency.
Up on the screen, you can see we try to put items up there that are in the range of or exceed $5,000. Heidelberg LLC for highway road materials, 'tis the season, $8,143.72. The ban interest to Greene County Bank of $11,246.53. Sabella Associates, see the professional services for April, $27,542.50. The charges back to developers leaves the town with a cost of $19,138.75. Macedon Excavating for Cobblestone Phase 2, $22,950. Mirabito Energy, fuel for May, $20,645. RG&E Townwide Gas and Electric of $10,512.24. And our May to June payment to the Victor Farmington Ambulance of $33,333.34. The total of the above-mentioned expenditures is $134,373.33. The total town expenditures minus the previously mentioned expenditures equals $58,508.46. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Tonight, we have a privilege of the floor, and this is an informational discussion about the Victor Terrace PDD project. You guys want to come to the podium, make sure it's on? You guys have the floor.
Hi, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Great. Give me a second to set up, but thank you for having us. My name is Greg Nearpass. I'm an attorney with Woods Obiet Gilman, representing RSM Development. Also here with me is Mike Ritchie from Costitch Engineering and Steve Mancini from RSM Development. So just want to, thank you for having us, kind of informational session. We can kind of tell you a little bit about the project and how it's evolved to where it is today. And so maybe we just start kind of way back in the beginning as to what originally Victor Terrace was. So Victor Terrace originally was approved as a PDD back in 2003, which I don't like to think was a long time ago, but apparently that was it was a long time ago. And it was originally approved to be a mixed-use development, kind of commercial and residential. The majority of the parcel is within the town. There is another parcel that's in the village as well. So they originally got approved the rezoning in 2003. went before the planning board. We got site plan approval for that mixed-use development. Did some initial grading and site work, and then the project was kind of put on hold as we kind of looked at, what the development landscape was looking like in both the town and the village of Victor, and what we found was, there was I guess a decreasing need for commercial activity, commercial use, and then a corresponding increasing need for residential activity. So when we went back and looked at the project again, kind of responding to, the market conditions, what we've come up with now, or what the concept plan is, would be a fully residential complex. Still, just like the prior approval, the main building would sit on the town parcel. There would be the smaller building on the village parcel. It would be, what we're proposing would be a total of 60 units, approximately 48 in the town and 12 in the smaller building in the village. Besides the change of use, and again, I think, we've met with the town staff. We've also met with folks in the village and kind of reintroducing the project to kind of the stakeholders. We do feel that there are some positive, benefits from this revised project as to what was previously approved. We have met with the village. The village has confirmed that, from a sewer capacity standpoint, they can accommodate the expected generation of sewer from the revised project. We're looking at the traffic, impacts of the revised project. We do feel that, when that analysis has been done, that actually the traffic impacts are going to be less than what was originally designed, was originally approved back when this was more of a mixed-use project. And we feel it's, responding to the needs in the village, or the needs in the town, excuse me, with an increasing use of residential. So, again, haven't made a formal, presentation or a submission yet. We're just, again, restarting the project, meeting with, folks in the town, folks in the village, yourself, and then kind of gearing towards making that revised application for revision to the PDD. If there's any questions or initial thoughts or questions for Mike from the engineering or technical perspective, or that we can use to take back as part of our application, happy to get some feedback.
I think the only thing that I would need to know more about, because I can't think of one that I've been part of, is the PDD visits on both village and town. How does that work as far as the?
Yeah, so the PDD is just with respect to the town parcel. The village parcel is zoned, I believe it's Gateway Corridor Business District. So that would stay the same. I think the only change we would need from this board would be, amending the prior PDD in the town.
Mm-hmm.
You remember what the prior PDD was? I mean, none of us were on the board in 2003.
So I just graduated law school in 2003, in full disclosure, so was not representing RSM back then. But I do believe, my understanding is that it is one of the first PDDs that the town had passed. And so when you look at some of the subsequent PDDs that the town has enacted, they are very specific in terms of uses, in terms of density regulations, setbacks, building, open space requirements. This PDD was pretty general in the sense that it was basically a PDD for a plan to be proposed to the planning board to approve a site plan based on a mixed-use development. And so I think as the town and as the other municipalities throughout the last 20-plus years have, PDDs have gotten a little bit more specific. This one doesn't have those elements. So, I guess, as we're going through this process with you guys, we would probably want to craft a more, kind of specific regulations in terms of uses and setbacks and heights and other building and zoning requirements.
So for those that are home or in the audience even, the location that we're talking about is west of Tim Hortons, right? That green space going out between Tim Hortons and Victor Chevrolet, right? On the BD. Yep. Okay. Okay. How big a parcel is it, Steve? How many acres? Let's come to the microphone so we can hear that.
Steve Mancini with RSM. Like it's 5.8, correct? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm 90% sure it's 5.8. Between the two, Village and Town side. And back, 5.9. Back in the day, the line, the Village and Town line was on an angle, and then, we had a change, so we swung the line so it was straight, so now you got a good defined village piece and in the town piece, both being a rectangle instead of cutting across as it did. The original project also had apartments.
I know it's early in the planning stages, but what are you thinking in terms of how the size of the apartments? 1, 2 bedroom, what?
We're thinking probably all twos. That truly seems to be the market demand.
I think the
All
only,
market rate?
Yes.
only thing that comes to mind for me is between '03 and now, the traffic eastbound between 251 and the center of the village has changed fairly dramatically. Well, I've been here 13 years, and it's fairly heavy flow from 2:30, 3 o'clock through the rush hour. There is that center turn lane, but certainly there's some hazards involved there, and we see that along the line there, especially from the village line in. There's quite a few accidents in that center barrier. Do you guys have, will there be a traffic study and looking at how the impacts, especially at that time of day, will be affected?
So, Mike, we've talked about this. Actually, the original concept would have had a bigger impact on traffic than on residential, or than strictly residential. And Mike can speak in a little more detail about how, whatever the rate is for apartments or any type of residential, you don't get that big rush like you do on any type of plaza, store, things like that. We truly believe that the traffic will be less than what would have been generated by the original proposal.
All right, thank you.
So just to give the council people some background on the process, they'll come back with a petition seeking to amend the existing PUD, which is essentially a rezoning of the property again. And there will be a State Environmental Quality Review Act assessment of that further amended PDD. And traffic is one of those impacts, Drew, that has to be assessed as part of that process.
Mm-hmm.
And also I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And then the other thing I was just going to add, the town board also refers the amended PDD to the planning board for its review and comment advice to the town board before the town board acts on the rezoning. Sorry.
What would happen, Frank, if the town approves a PDD and the village doesn't, or vice versa?
Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, the village is just, it's not part of the PDD.
I believe that is correct. I believe it's
I
totally
think the
separate.
village, did you have to seek a rezoning of the property for residential from the village, or was it a permitted use right of?
Permitted use.
It was a
Okay.
permitted use, yeah.
So the village's piece has really no bearing on
Got it.
on this board's legislative discretion and authority to adopt or not adopt an amendment to the PDD.
The main reason when we did the original approvals, and we did it in a joint manner, is because we were sharing driveways, we were sharing grading, water collection, things like
Well,
that.
sewer, right? Sewer's the bottom line. Where's that going, right? So if it's all going to the village.
And I know you had mentioned earlier on that the village sounds like they've approved that they can hold the capacity. I just got this evening, so it's been a very cursory review for me, but basically, I see that about 80% max flow at any given time down at the village sewer plant.
I'll let you comment
And
on
I
that.
believe there was some notes in there. I mean, there are times, especially inside, I believe 2022 and 23, where they were at capacity. So I guess my question is, I would speculate that they took into consideration the development of the currently non-existing project on Rawson Road as part of that calculation.
I believe so. I think they evaluate future developments that have been approved but not yet constructed when they evaluate capacity. And I know in the letter JP Shep wrote, had mentioned certain improvements were made to the village treatment plant, which have increased capacity. He made a statement, I believe, during the meeting that residential would have a much lower usage than any other,
Sure.
much smaller even commercial usage would have. So, yeah, he had made a statement that he doesn't see an issue with capacity for this project.
All right, thank you.
If you don't get the PDD, do you have any plans to go forward with the 2003 plans?
Given somewhat of a history of commercial in the town, we just would not work in that area.
Okay. So then compare, I don't know if we really, for us as a board, it seems fair to then compare it to 2003 if there's no plans to move forward. I would just compare it to what our regular zoning is for the parcel. You said it's 60 units you're planning,
Total between the two sites.
2 sites. And when do you expect a traffic study to be finished?
Well, we haven't been directed yet to do a traffic study. Part of the review, if it requires it, then we would put that in with the initial filing.
Yeah, I would definitely, I mean, my biggest concern would be traffic. I used to live on High Street, as everybody knows here. I had a timeout when I would pull into my driveway coming home from work, and when I pulled out leaving to work by 10 minutes, if I didn't make it, I'd get stuck because of school. I used to commute from Pittsford. I know what it's like to wait in a line of at least 80 cars right there on 96. Even if you got 60 units at 2 cars a unit, because you're looking at 2 bedrooms, which would probably be at least your minimum, it's 120 cars on the road, extra on Main Street. Sure, it won't all be at the same time, but that's really probably my biggest concern. I don't think the board is, really no one knows that better than I am not the biggest fan of PDDs in our community. We have zoning for a reason, so I don't see the need sometimes for PDDs. But the traffic on this one is really, really my biggest concern.
Any other comments?
I think, I mean, just my personal comment, aside from the traffic, I share, when we've discussed it, I share a little bit of a different opinion. I think the apartment living is an important part of the community that we didn't have a lot of, and it has greatly expanded in the last decade. I think the location of this is, walkability to the village, and I think it increases, consumers to the village to take part in the activities and the restaurants, and I think that there's a positive component to this, and we have some apartment facilities in the community that, members of my family have lived in, and they're excellent communities, and they are needed, and they serve a great purpose. So I think from the plan itself, I'm supportive of it. I just want to make sure that we address those traffic concerns as we move forward.
You struck on a very good point. I've had conversation with various village merchants who are excited to have people in the village that can come and utilize the restaurants and things like that. And even back in '03, that was a big thing. We were going to extend the sidewalks as part of it, so it was walkable and bring people down into the village for these businesses.
I don't have any further questions.
Okay.
I just have one question. Have you guys secured a letter of intent to serve from RG&E for the project?
We have not yet. We could submit. Typically, RG&E is hesitant to provide a letter of intent until board approvals are obtained, but we can make that request if that is a request of the board.
I would make a recommendation to the town board that you do secure that, because we are, and Keith, correct me if I'm wrong, seeing a lot of developers having hard times with RG&E securing where RG&E basically says they don't have the capacity to serve. So I think this board should see at least a letter of intent to serve from RG&E before it considers voting on the PDD.
We can make that request.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
Before we get to public comment, I just had a couple of announcements. I would be remiss if I didn't list our July birthdays. Pull them up right here. Starting with Susie Mandrino on July 2nd, followed by Dustin Green on July 4th, John DeCook on the 18th, Eric Link on the 20th, and Director of Finance Rich O'Donnell wrapping up the month on the 28th of July at the tender age of 42, right? Town holiday, all right. Don't say that, Rich, too loud. Also, I want to make sure, in your packet, you've got your reports, but I want to make sure that it goes out on YouTube, and that I mentioned that Saturday's a big day for us. We'll be having a ribbon cutting ceremony at the Dryer Road Park as we open up a new playground, which we're all very excited about, and that kicks off at 9:30 on Saturday morning. And I believe all four of us are going to be present for that. Supervisor Marin will be out of town, but he sent some comments, and we're very excited about that. And that's all that I had. We've got reports from IT, planning and building, the Parks and Rec, of course, is in there, and then a finance report from Rich. Now we'll open up for public comment, and then we'll get into any other reports. Anybody on YouTube? No comments? All right. Then the reports of the town officials. Anybody have any comments or want to comment on anything that they've been doing from the town board, or anybody want to talk about anything?
Come to the ribbon cutting.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. Everybody come to the ribbon cutting. I'm very excited.
Yep.
Very excited. Then on to the next playground it is.
All right, let's move on to the action items then. We'll start with resolution number 1. I don't know if that's why Shay is here, or if the other deputy clerks could not be here tonight, but I assured Shay that I thought we had enough votes to appoint Shay as a full-time confidential secretary through the town supervisor.
So moved. No, I want it.
Second then.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Yep, congratulations and welcome aboard. Thank you. Things have picked up in that office since you've been on board, so I want to congratulate Jack on making a good decision there, so. I'm glad. Resolution number 2, our summer season, we got Judah the Band for our summer concert and sound.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Also, resolution number 3 for the visual arts class. This would be for Kristen Belconfine. What is it? Belcofine. Belcofine. Kristen Belcofine, thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It would be an incomplete summer if we didn't have Rich Stein's Magic Balloon Camp for our summer program.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Young Explosives, America 250. They've been very busy on New Michigan Road as I drive by there every day.
I think we missed one.
Oh, we did?
Aye.
Oh, we got to do the summer camp and entertainment for number 5.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now we get to the party. That's July 2nd, by the way. We're all very excited about that. I really like the Sid Partington brochure. I picked one up the other day, very colorful. And we're going to kick off a really nice celebration on the 2nd of July, which is a Thursday night. And Young Explosives is going to finish it off with a great fireworks display. Looking for a motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to number 7. I'll call on Michael again. Doug.
Rougeau.
Say again?
Rougeau.
Rougeau. Doug Rougeau for Summer Camp Bubble Mania.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Something Else Band for Taco Tuesday. Resolution number 8.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 9. This is John Cuppinger with the Royal Bromleys.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then we have the certificate of liability waiver for resolution number 10.
So moved.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Don't even try.
You're killing me with these names, Mike.
Not gonna get the Italian one.
Spitaleri? Spitaleri. Lauren Spitaleri for music classes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And resolution number 12, we've been working pretty diligently on a potential sanitary sewer connection fee increase. And this is to set a public hearing, which will be on July 27th. And we're going to have a workshop that night, which will be for us and the public from 6:30 to 7 before the board meeting to explain and justify some of the fee increases for the sanitary sewer connection fee increases. So this is to set the public hearing for July 27th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Resolution number 13, this is the authorization for the contract with Gomez and Sullivan Engineering for the emergency plan updates for the Boughton Park dams. Just to give you a little bit of background, as we're continuing to move forward on those with Gomez and Sullivan, we have really two new folks to bring up to speed, and those are the folks from West Bloomfield. A newly elected supervisor and a newly appointed liaison, basically, to help serve as the three towns have two representatives. So bringing them up to speed, and Gomez and Sullivan have been on board since day one. Keith has been a tremendous asset in making sure that our papers get filed on time and that we are on the right path with this. And as you know, most of this is grant money, and the cost to us is significantly less than what the project is going to cost. So looking for a motion on this as well.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, resolution number 14 is the acceptance of the Bass Pro surety.
So moved.
Second.
I was up there the other day and things are moving, right? Walls are getting knocked down and,
Black Friday?
yeah, they're saying, who knows?
That is their plan.
Their plan is Black Friday, yeah.
Are we gonna need a police escort?
It's ambitious. I think we'll camp out up there.
That's aggressive.
Cancel things.
So did we had a first and a second? Did we pass that? Say all in favor? Aye, yes?
Aye.
All
Aye.
right. And finally, approving the performance bond for Norbit Large Scale Solar Facility.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Opposed? One no. Okay, 3-1. Any other public comment tonight? Susie? You good? All right, no, that's fine. Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.